Good morning, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora magician, my people. It has been another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fee. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American? My people, all in all, it has been another beautiful day for protests. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to the activities that happened while I protested. And as you know, when I have finished protesting and I have brought you an update as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring you something from the word of the Most High God. On Wednesday, we dealt with some words that the Son of the God uttered. And those words were, let the dead bury the dead. And we are going to continue in this same vein. So let me just recap a little. The Son of God, Yahweh, met a man and he asked that man to become his disciple. This man was not one of the 12. He was just a man that he met while he was going about his business. That man was very honored to be invited by the Son of God to be his disciple. But he had some business he had to take care of first. And he asked the Most High, Son, Yahweh, he said, let me first go and bury my father, after which I will return and I will be your disciple. The Son of God looked at him and said, let the dead bury the dead. And what he was just saying is let the living dead bury the physical dead. The physical dead are those people who have experienced the absence of life. And the living dead are those people who have by their own action had declined in their spiritual status. What do I mean? When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, they moved from perfection. Now they became imperfect. They should have died, but the Most High pitied them and gave them a second chance. And in giving them a second chance, what did he do? He allowed his spirit to dwell with them, even though they didn't deserve to have the Most High God's spirit dealing with them. So when a man died after Adam and Eve, and they die a spiritual death, what happens? The Spirit of the Most High God leaves them. So they have declined another rung on the spiritual ladder. The first person in the Israelite community, the first time an individual within the Israelite community was put into this position where the Spirit of the Most High God left him and an evil spirit possessed him, was King Saul. And this was the first time it was brought to the knowledge of man that this condition exists and could happen. After Saul disobeyed the direct command from the Most High God through his prophet Samuel, and he encouraged the Israelite army, God's army, to do the same, which is detailed in 1 Samuel chapter 15. In 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 15, is when the Most High God withdrew his spirit from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Most High God possessed Saul. Saul became raving mad. He tried to kill the Most High anointed David. He tried to kill his own son, whom he was trying to preserve his kingdom for. And he consulted with riches, contrary to the practice of the Israelites. This was also the first time in the history of Israel, according to the scriptures, that a man become demon-possessed. Before that time, demon possession in Israel was an alien to the thing. It didn't happen. No one lost their souls and no one became demon-possessed, because the Israelites, although they were disobedient, they didn't go beyond that which would have caused them to become demon-possessed and lose their souls. Even when Achan transgressed the Most High law, he did not lose his soul because he had an opportunity to repent. But he had to be made an example of. It is not until in the New Testament where the Caucasians make an entrance or an emergence back into scriptures that demon possession came. Remember, the Caucasians of Bible time are the Edomites. The Caucasians of today's time are the Edomites of Bible time. They existed when Israel existed in that same part of the world. Just a stone throw away from Israel was Mount Seir, where the Caucasians inhabited. What happened? The Caucasians became obnoxious to the people they were living around, and they were chased out. So when they make their emergence back into that part of the world, no one knew them because they think they were extinct. Now, this happened in BC 335, when the Greeks came back to the east with a vengeance. Then the Rome followed. It was only when the Caucasians came back that there was a trend of mass demon possession, and a lot of people came living dead. Why? Because the Caucasians were now practicing, as Revelation chapter 13 verse 1 and 2 says they are. The devil gave them his seat, his throne, and his great authority. And we did that in different lessons before. Now when they came back, they were raping everyone they can get their hands on, and they were encouraging those who they could not rape into homosexuality. This was the means by which they caused the Israelites to become demon-possessed and lose their soul. Because the Caucasians believe that when you have sex with another man, when a man has sex with another man, he takes that man's power, his strength. So homosexuality and rape became a part of their culture. So this is why when Yahweh, the Son of God, was on the earth, there was so much people who was demon-possessed, so much Israelite men and women. The woman with the issue of blood, she was a demon-possessed woman. It was because of the demons why her blood did not stop. We had instances where men had a legion of demons in them. So what the Son of the Most High God was saying to that man is, let those people who do not have a soul to be redeemed, those people who the Most High Spirit have left, those living deads, let them bury the physical dead, which is your father. And because this condition was prevalent in the time when Jesus walked the earth, or Yahweh, the Son of God, walked the earth, there were a lot of living dead around. It's not until I came to California and the Most High began to teach me these things that I realized that a lot of people, the people that I love dearly, the people who are friends and family and acquaintances, who I'm familiar with, A lot of them are living dead. But because I had a lack of knowledge of their condition, and because I thought that they were all like me, I thought all of us were the same. But that is not so. There are a lot of living deads around you, and you don't know it. What the Caucasians has discovered in this era is that apart from rape and homosexuality, abortion and bestiality also have the same effects. When a man and woman get involved in abortion or bestiality, the Spirit of the Most High God leaves them, and devils and demons possess them. Those people who control the devils and the demons who possess them enslave them. Revelation chapter 13 verse 2 to 4. The devil gave the Caucasians his seat, his throne, and his great authority. The great authority of the devil is control over the demonic world. So the Caucasians, naturally by their nature, have control over the demonic world. That is why they have been enslaving the African American and all of those people who were invited here in California. Let me bring it home by giving you a practical example from St. Vincent and the Grenadines about people becoming living dead and the Caucasians who control those living deads, how he manipulated them. Out of the Black Power movements in St. Vincent and the Grenadines came several anti-colonial groups. One of those groups was ULIMO. Out of ULIMO and several other groups came a political party called the United People's Movement. This political party was formed in the middle of 1979. They contested the 1979 general election in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which took place in December of 1979, just after our country gained independence from Britain. Now, these were highly intelligent black men and women who were part of the United People's Movement. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there were only one white person who was admitted into the United People's Movement, and that one white person was Ralph Gonsalves. The people considered him a roots man because he lied to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and he said that he was having an affair with the Prime Minister's wife. He found out and he threw him out of Barbados, but that was a lie. The truth was, the British government, who gave Ralph Gonsalves a fake PhD, secured a job for him at the University of the West Indies to give him credibility, because he was supposed to be instrumental in destroying our economy and make our people slave, to ensure that the white agenda for 2025 came to pass in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because they expected heavy resistance from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. While Ralph Gonsalves worked at the University of the West Indies Cayfield campus as a professor, he raped a black female professor, one of his colleagues. That lady, being ashamed and had an association with the Prime Minister at the time, reported to the Prime Minister. Ralph Gonsalves went into hiding. He came back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines with the help of Burns Bonady, and he spread a rumor that he was fucking the Prime Minister woman. He found out and he threw him out of the country. So they considered Ralph Gonsalves a wife man, as we say in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And because of that reputation which he perpetrated upon himself, he was admitted into the United People's Movement. Now, without going into details, because the details is for my book, and in the interest of time, because I don't want to spend too much time in this video, Let me break it down for you. If you wake up Casper Landon from the dead and you ask Casper Landon how many times he fucked Ralph Gonsalves up the ass, Casper Landon, if that dead man was speaking the truth, he will say once. If you wake up Oscar Allen from the dead and you ask Oscar Allen how many times he fucked Ralph Gonsalves up the ass, Oscar Allen, if he's going to speak the truth, he will tell you once. If you find Mike Brown and you ask Mike Brown how many times he fucked Ralph Gonsalves up the ass, Mike Brown, if he is going to be truthful about this fact, he is going to tell you once. If you find Jomo Thomas and you ask Jomo Thomas how many times he fucked Ralph Gonsalves up the ass, Jomo Thomas is going to tell you once, if he is going to be speaking the truth. When these African Vincentian men accepted Ralph Gonsalves into the United People's Movement, Ralph Gonsalves saw an opportunity to hijack the group. And the only how he can hijack the group was to make the members of the United People's Movement his slave. The United People's Movement contested the first general election in 1979, December 5th. They got 13% of the vote. They were a very popular group, but most of their supporters were underage. They could not vote in the general election. However, by the time there was the next general election, Ralph Gonsalves was now in control of the party, UPM. He could not take control of that party because he didn't form it. So he divide the party and he take most of the members who can help him and he form the Movement for National Unity. And this only happened because he caused the members, most of the strong members in the United People's Movement to become a slave. He was able to break up that group. For decades, people were wondering if the United People's Movement contested the 1984 election as they would have made great political headway in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because by this time, all of the underage voters were of voting age. The 13% votes that they got would have dramatically increased. Ralph Gonsalves had made slaves of the members of the United People's Movement. Most of the members. He took who he wanted and he leave the rest behind. Yes, he took who he wanted and he left the rest behind. Now he have blighted the party. He have blighted the party headquarters with homosexuality. No, these people lose their power. Their influence on the community, they lost it. And they eventually went into oblivion. So this is a practical example of how the white man uses homosexuality to enslave other nations. And when they have enslaved them, they do with them whatever they please, however they please, wherever they please, whenever they please. Ask yourself, how could it be possible that all of these militant black men will now become so subservient to a man of the colonial class, Ralph Gonsalves? Ask yourself. The answer is simple. They were all now his slaves. Ask yourself where the black pride went. Ralph Gonsalves took away their black pride by allowing them to fuck him up the ass. Tell me, where in history have you ever seen a proud slave? Pride comes with freedom. And with freedom, a slave gets independence. And he can now be an honest and integral man. But once you do not have freedom, you have no independence, you cannot be proud. You may present a semblance of pride, but in reality, you cannot be proud. Who will proud to know that they, less than 100 years after their foreparents were liberated, they are now the slave in a free society of a white man who they trusted. So when Yahushua, the Son of the Most High God, said, "Let the dead bury the dead," he was speaking. People like Caspalandan, Jomo Thomas, Mike Brown, Oscar Allen, and the others who allow Ralph Gonsalves to deceive them, let them bury the physical dead. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the diaspora machismo. Richard Ross, you don't want to hear this? They're going to send their people, but I haven't read this for them.